I don't get to really accept the car into my life until I go through this process. I don't feel like it's mine until I get to go through the whole correction, protection, modification, the OEM bolt-on process, and that's part of what this is. I'm going to prepare for polish, so I'm going to do a quick little wipe down with some CarPro eraser to prepare the surface. And we're going to polish my favorite part first, which is the front clip. Before I do any polishing, I just want to make sure there's no gunk on the surface. So I'm going to do a nice little spray down here, and then we'll wipe the surface clean, and it'll be ready to go. So CarPro Eraser is an isopropyl alcohol solution with a little bit of secret sauce in it that we're not really sure what the secret sauce is. Part of it is it has an amazing scent. It has a great user experience. It's not hyper aggressive when it comes to cleaning and preparing. So I do have surface prep ready to go from G-Technic, which is I would say is more of a sledgehammer. This is more of a finesse clean, but I find myself using this product a whole lot more than any other when it comes to preparing the surface for polish or preparing the surface for a coating. So in a normal situation, you do this once. In mine, I'm doing it twice because I decided to put a step in between here. I wanted to get my garage done so I could really enjoy this process of taking ownership of my car. I figure it couldn't be much more damage done having it sit versus the transit and delivery on a boat in salt water. So. All right, everybody, so one of the common questions I get when polishing is, what do I really need? There's a few wants in here, desires, but this is what I'm going to use to polish this car. There may be a few little additions here, but I'm pretty sure I know what's going to work. The combination of two things I'm going to use the most, and the only reason I have two here, I just want to explain. This is my prototype. This is the actual production version of the A4500 Pro. I think currently, I have the Rupes in my cabinet, I have the Milwaukee in my cabinet. I think this is the best current cordless polisher. I'm going to also use my baby, but this is the 3-inch Mirka 12mm Orbit, super quiet, direct drive, lots and lots of money polisher, but man, this thing is incredible. This is the luxury. Luxury is you really only need one of these. I like to have 4 of them, but this is the Rupes Nano short neck and long neck. I have it set up as long throw dual action on short and long, and then I have it set up as rotary, both short and long neck, and then I have the Rupes extension as well on the short neck, which I find that I use most often. Pads, pretty sure I'm going to end up using Rupes Yellow, which is my favorite version of the microfiber pads, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to end up finishing with yellow foam. Although white is technically the Rupes' finishing pad, I find you get a little less squabble or flex in a yellow pad, and so the yellow pad combined with Perfect Finish really finishes down really nicely. I'm going to use some of the Rupes claw tools for buttering and for priming and prepping the pads, and then the 2 polishes I likely am going to end up using is Sonex Perfect Finish. Perfect Finish will follow Griot's Fast Correcting Cream. Both of these are diminishing polishes. Both of these are ones that I think do a great job and are really, really easy to use. I will have a bottle of eraser in a Pressol bottle set up so that I can use that to wipe and inspect. And then the last utensil I'll use for this, or tool I'll need, is towels. I like low pile and high pile, and I like a medium pile. So in every good polishing of any Porsche, specifically with all the black plastic on the GT cars, you're going to need some tape. I like to tape my headlights. I don't tape my taillights. but I'm going to tape off most of the plastic trim. This is going to require a lot more taping than I'm normally used to because this has a lot of plastic on it. So I don't like polishing without an air compressor. So what I have set up here, I have my air compressor tools, and so this tool I'll use to blow out pads. I won't need any of these other tools, but I have a Werther Compact X air compressor that's in the closet behind the garage here. I have the OG version of a Cox hose reel here, so it would easily wind back in. This is a Prevost S1 fluid swiveling coupler, which is a double release. So when I go to release, I press the button and then I pull. And so I don't have to push in to sort of release the pressure. It takes care of all of that for me. The other tool I'll be using a lot on this project is the OG version of the Viper chair. This is the one with the quick release or quick seat adjustment option. And so I can easily adjust my seat height. This has the Fat Boy pads on the side and the OG Hex on here. I'll be using this a lot, especially since I now have the QuickJack, so I can get the car up in the air. All right, another new product placement for us would be QuickJacks. I had to eat crow and decide that, hey, I need some QuickJacks in my life. I don't have a lift in this garage. I don't really want to go through the process of cutting the concrete and putting in an in-ground scissor lift. And the way I use this garage, I'm washing sideways all the time. Just putting a lift on the surface really isn't going to work. And so I have QuickJacks here at the ready, debadged, ready to go. This is actually the 8000 TLX version. This is my preferred version. I'm going to have to do a little bit of adjustment here. There are some little canards, little air guides on the GT4 RS. So I'll have to put a little block of wood underneath the front tires in order to get it up in the air. But this combination of the longer wheelbase version or the longer version fits the car better, and then doing the truck size version of this I found is a lot more sturdy and feels a lot more confidence inspiring. There's nothing wrong with doing the 6000 series, but to me it was worth having the extra weight and then setting this up so that way I could do cars, trucks, SUVs, any vehicle I have. This fits on almost all of them. It's the most universal of all the bend pack QuickJacks, and we do now sell these in the store because of that. I've had to admit this is going to be heavy and annoying to do, but once I get the car set up, it's going to make my polishing experience so much better. This is worth it. That's pretty good. I hate to say it. Until I push this under the car and I forget about it and I crush it. Makes it just feel so much more solid, man. And all I did was put that little piece of block there. That helps to make sure that I don't hit my little racing canards underneath here. Do the old open door test. Even with it, it's sitting on the block, so that sucker doesn't even flinch. All right, that's a lot of primping. Let's get to work. That's pretty unfortunate right there. Look at that. There's a smudgeroo inside of my headlight. Dang. It's always something with a Porsche, brand new, multi-$100,000 car, and you're always going to be dealing with some funkiness. It's kind of part of the deal here. So one tip from me to you: I don't care how good you think you are, at least do a 2-inch line around your headlights. If you hit this with your polisher, you're going to nuke the UV coating of your headlight, and you're going to be regretting life because it's going to turn yellow really fast. Don't do that. Just tape it. It takes 5 minutes. Doesn't have to be pretty. Just because I can, I'll just tape the whole thing. Don't need to tape this. This is gonna be a real problem. I don't think these things are easy to take off. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we gotta get this frickin' thing off of here. I know this is gonna make you Porsche guys go crazy, but I don't like the sticker. If I can pull the emblem off, even better. It's just a sticker. Nice. We got a little bit of Tarex here. Wipe this off. We're ready to polish. That makes me happy. I like taking badges off. Okay, so first step in any polishing is to do a test spot. We need to see what works. Now, some things may change a little bit because we have different materials. We have plastic, we have carbon fiber. I believe these are carbon fiber as well. We'll have some aluminum, some steel, and so we have some different materials to deal with. But generally speaking, the car is going to be painted in one shot. So most of the time, the paint reacts similarly, but we're not sure. And we want to do this car, like, I want to get this to like 95%. Even though this is going to get PPF on it, I still want it to look great underneath. And so we'll start with this section here. You can see lots of haziness here. There's a hazy spot right there, you know, and so we're really going to clean this thing up, jewel it up. There's lots of little imperfections, little scratches, little, you know, factory marks. There's a lot of little different things in all the different surfaces on this car. And we have some water etching and stuff like that we're going to have to clean up. And so we're going to treat this little section here. I'm going to start with Griot's Fast Correcting Cream and a microfiber cutting pad, and we're going to see what happens. Little tip for you, always, especially if you have compressed air, take your new microfiber pads and blow it out. It'll keep the area cleaner, and then we want to blow out all the extra little fibers and get it out of here. Make sure the pad's clean and not introducing anything that could cause any more scratching to the surface than we already have. If you're new here and you're new to polishing, with modern machines like this here, this Liquid Elements, it's really pretty easy to do. I'm gonna get the product on my pad, so spread it evenly. More polish isn't going to do more cutting. In fact, it may do less in certain polishes and certain paints. And so we don't want too much, we don't want just enough. But again, don't get too worried about the details here, the particulars. Just get a little bit of polish on the pad. I made sure to shake up my polish. A couple of dots there to start. And then I'm going to take my pad, I'm going to keep it nice and flat. All right, so I'm going to take my pad, I'm going to put it in position. I'm going to put it on a slower speed if you really want to do it right. Now, after about 2 times of doing this, I end up just rolling with it. But theoretically, turn your speed down. I want to spread it around. Let me get my machine figured out here. There we go. I wasn't pushing in far enough. I'm gonna run this at like 4,200. Oh yeah, this is much quieter than the prototype. Quite a bit smoother as well. So you want to be careful with adjacent panels. So I actually want to get this panel off of the other panel, so that way I can get the proper edge. All right, let's see what we got. This Griot stuff wipes off so nicely. My money's on that's gonna work. 3 sets of passes or so. All that haziness went away. Let's get ourselves a light out here and check to make sure all our scratches went away. Really, with microfiber, the scratching and stuff would be harder to see anyway. But here, when we do the gray, we'll confirm our work. I see that's gonna do our job there. We got our edge worked. Our edges looked really nice and clean as well. We'll get a little bit of more gloss and depth when we do the finishing stage. Yep. All right, so let's do this section. Let's double check and I'll turn the lights off for you. I'm applying quite a bit of pressure. You can hear, and I'm leaning into the machine. Man, this machine is really good. Now let me get my edge done here properly. slow, deliberate sets of passes on the carbon fiber. Nice thing is the carbon fiber doesn't heat up very much. You don't have to worry about heat. With the dual action polish, you really don't have to worry about heat anyway. Oh yeah, that's good. The lighting in here is really good. So I can follow the light down the section without even getting a separate light out. And we're looking sharp. So we're gonna do that. And we'll know that since Griot's, this is doing all the work. I have to manage my edge, get my edge cleaned up, do the whole process, take my time, apply lots of pressure. That way when I come back and do my finishing polish, I'll probably be able to do this whole large section, much bigger sections. Still very deliberately, but that's when I'll get my depth and clarity. And I can see the weave of the carbon fiber without any imperfections of scratch paint. That's what we're looking for, folks. And it will shine up even more when I do the final step. I was pretty sure that was gonna be the entire procedure for the whole car, and it's gonna work great. We'll double check with the light and confirm when I do the different panels, but that's gonna be really good. All right, so I've got probably 15, at least a dozen hours ahead of me to get this thing done, to do multi-steps. So I'm gonna follow up and do the entire car, what you just saw, the compounding phase. Then I'm gonna follow up and do the foam pad and do perfect finish and do the finishing polish. I'll polish the glass as well, using the same procedure. I won't need to polish the glass, but I'll polish the glass in order to prepare that to accept my coating. And then after we get the whole car polished, and it's gonna go off to Kevin at Next Armor to get the full PPF done on the full exterior. After Kevin comes back to me, and then we coat it, do the wheels, do all those things to kind of finish it up. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me to get this thing up to my spec. But I could certainly rush this and go through it and get it done really quickly. But I'm in no rush with this car. This is a lifetime purchase. Not to say I'll have it for a lifetime, but I'm gonna have it for a while. And so I'm in no rush, enjoying this process and converting it to making it my own, setting it up the way that I want. You know what? Before I polish this part of the panel, there's something I think you wanna go check out. Go check out the Matt Mormon channel, which is the me, day in the life, old school, long format, Obsessed Garage channel. And then also, if you really want to be entertained, go to the Garage Obsession channel, where we're telling the story of the garage through the eyes of not just me, but people all over the world, all over the country that have built a masterpiece of their own. So make sure you go and subscribe to those channels. The links are down below.